I might be getting Iron Man 2 and
I thought the first time we
Avengers.
saw her was when she was being interrogated, but she planned that actually.
The interrogated thing, I thought that was in Avengers, the first Avengers movie. But
No.
that was what maybe...
that's the first sequence we saw her was in
I mean,
Iron
she
Man
was
2.
getting interrogated, but...
And then she got out of it and slipped out of it, right?
Yeah, but I thought that was in Avengers.
Was it? Okay, sorry.
I thought it was in Avengers, because, like, I mean, I know she was in Iron Man 2, because I know that was, like, when she premiered as a character, but I thought that the interrogation scene... I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you're right. But all I know is that as soon as, like, the interrogation scene, I was like, that is my chick now.
She's awesome.
She was awesome. She was so kick-ass.
Yeah. Let me know when you're ready to start.
She was a G. We started, girl.
We did?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Hey, 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 hey. Hey, everybody. What's up, what's up? It's Christmas. Merry Christmas.
Simply having
a wonderful Christmas time. Simply having a wonderful Christmas time. I thought we sang that last time. We should have seen another one.
Well, it's got to come naturally, though.
Okay.
We can't force it.
That one came out of you straight. So is that the one you were listening to?
No, it's just what I thought of. We can't fake the funk, though.
You're right.
We can't.
Hey, everybody, it's Triple F Queen Bola here.
And there's no tagline, Whitney here.
And we are your Blerd Girls, Blerd Talk with Bola and Whitney.
Oh, yeah.
Coming at you with a Christmas episode.
Hey, y'all. So this is going to be the second episode for December. There's not going to be a Thursday one because we're dropping it early for a special Christmas episode.
Yes, and we are doing Naija Christmas.
Yay!
Hey! And I'm going to tell you guys how to say Christmas, Merry Christmas in Yoruba.
Ooh.
So Whitney, I'm going to teach you right now. So
Okay. All right.
since A Naija Christmas is a Nigerian Christmas movie.
I'm ready
the
for it, girl.
way you
Bring
say
it. Bring it. Get to the chopper.
So much aggression. Like, what's going on? This is Christmas time, Whitney. Liven it up a little bit.
That was very lively. What are you talking about?
That was like extra, like. Now who's lively? I'm over knocking stuff down. That was very like aggressive.
Aggro.
Okay. I guess you're pumped, but I was hoping a more jolly pump than a more juggernaut pump.
I like the reference.
All right. So the way you say Christmas in Merry Christmas is Keresimesi Adunde.
Keresimesi.
Keresimesi.
Keresimesi. Adunde.
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 Yeah.
Keresimesi Adunde.
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 Yay.
Keresimesi Adunde.
Yeah. And then I have a small little. Don't worry, it's not copyrighted. Hey, Keresimesi Adunde. Adunde. Lama. Hey. Just a little bit for y'all. Hey. The refugee see. Hey. Keresimesi, everybody. A Naija Christmas. This is what we do in Christmas. We be jamming. Hey.
Speaking of, I love the scene at the church.
Oh, yeah.
Since I've been to your church house, like when they were getting down, because it's like, a lot of people, for our Caucasian brothers and sisters, this would have been like, what is going on?
I know.
And even our non-African brothers and sisters, because, I mean, we get into it, but it's like, y'all jam.
Yes,
like,
I'm telling you.
This is the Christ Club right here.
Yes, I'm telling you. So the same dancing, well, there's just no grinding. But there is twerking at church. But I'm not going to lie. It's only because you're trying to show. That's the thing. I was explaining this to my coworkers on the phone, too, that we have our little session that we have. Since we're all new, three new girls to the whole division.
Okay.
And so we have our check-in, so we can just meet and bond and talk about and discuss things we're going through, whatever.
Oh, that's
so
nice.
we just had like our own little powwow yesterday, and I was telling them we were talking about different movies and culture things and what we do, and I was telling them about why I wanted a money gun.
Quick aside, but I love your glasses.
Thank you. I don't wear these often, but I've had them for a while.
Because I was like, I don't think I've seen these before.
You have.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I change my glasses so often. It's like people don't
just
notice when I have new ones
how
on.
How many glasses does Bola freaking have?
I have 4, but I'm trying to get all the colors. That's the thing. I'm trying to get all the colors, girl.
Okay.
Trying to get all the colors of the wind. Oh, wait, no.
I want to be the very best.
Why is that the one coming in your head?
No one ever was. Dun, dun, dun. catch them is my real test.
I don't get this
train
one.
Them
I don't get this
my
one,
car. I will travel across the
I
land,
see now.
searching
Collect them all.
far and wide. Teach Pokemon to understand the power that's inside. Pokemon, gotta catch them all. You and me. I know it's my destiny.
Pokemon. Oh, you're my best friend.
In a world we must defend. Pokemon, gotta catch them all.
What's next?
I
think we sang it already.
Us through. You teach me and I'll teach you.
Pokemon, gotta catch them all. Gotta catch them all. Pokemon. Okay.
All right.
Woo! We haven't sang real well in a while, so that's really good. You would think it'd be a Christmas song, but okay.
It matches though. You gotta catch them all the glasses.
Yes,
right?
I'm catching all the glasses colors. So that's one of my things. I have like a whole in Zulu and Vogue, all those places. I have like a bunch of colors. I'm trying to get the perfect purple one, but I don't have purple glasses. So that's what I'm doing. And then I need some sunglasses too. But yeah, I am trying to catch the colors. But this is nice and green for Christmas. I'm wearing my black Santa earrings I got from Tori. These are like really fly earrings though. I'm like, I can just wear these on the regular, but it is Santa. So, but it's black Santa just to make sure, y'all. Just to make sure, because this is what Blerd Talk, Black Nerd Talk. Okay. Anyway, back to the Nigerian thing. So Nigerians we like to get down and like that's one thing. They have a joie de vivre of life. Like there might be a lot of things going on.
Fancy French words.
They might not be a lot of things going on, but they know how to enjoy life. They know how to celebrate and dance. They might not have no gifts to give you or all that kind of stuff, but they will dance and sing and celebrate with you and jam, and they extend that to every sphere of life. I mean, you will see all this dancing happening even at a funeral, because there's a little portion, there's a party, they'll be dancing like that too. Yeah. You know, so it's like every sphere of life we dance.
That's kind of I feel like it's a black culture thing. I don't know if
y'all
I've
get
ever
it from
seen
us.
it. Could be, yeah. More likely,
it's
more
a
likely
total
y'all
translation.
are the motherland.
Yeah,
because it's like it's a homegoing celebration rather than like I mean, it's still a funeral, but we call it a homegoing celebration. Like,
yeah, but y'all have like more like sedated music.
Yeah.
Whereas ours will be like.
I mean, honestly, it's not like really. I mean, okay, compared to like y'all's like really
upbeat,
beat heavy,
very upbeat music.
Yeah, because ours is still like. It's still kind of the stuff you would hear during like a church service, but it's not like, yeah, this is my jank right here.
Yeah, we have the service music, and then you have the party part, and then they'll play all this upbeat music, and then everyone be dancing and everything. So it's just like they celebrate everywhere, and then I'm telling you, even the older lady to the younger lady, they all be getting it down. I've seen some older ladies, Nigerian aunties, they'll be getting down. They can still drop it low. Like,
I really want to learn some of these African dances because
I'm looking for the perfect video for you. I haven't forgotten, Whitney.
Especially with the
Guaria.
Oh, is that what it is?
Okay,
like that one.
Yeah,
I like
really
that
cool.
one.
I have the perfect video for you. I just haven't forgotten. There's just so much going on in this last season.
Yeah, it's Christmas. This is hectic time.
I
Christmas
know.
And New Year's and all fun.
But it is Christmas, guys. Keresimesi. That's how you say it in Yoruba. And I just want you guys to have an awesome time. Like, don't be too hectic, even though I know I was with all the gift giving and stuff.
It's getting kind of hectic.
Is that a song?
It's getting kind of hectic. Yeah, girl.
I didn't even know that's a song.
Yeah.
Or did you just make that up?
No. I don't know what it's a part of. Like, okay, you keep talking while I look it up to see what the actual song is.
Yeah, so I just want you guys to enjoy the time. Please remember the season is about your life and your family. For those who are Christian, we remember the birth of Jesus. Hello, love the Lord. Yes.
Oh, it's the name of the song is The Power, and it's by Snap. Exclamation point.
Well, there you go. Look at Whitney being Googled today. Hello, hey. Anyway, but let's get into blurting out before we talk about the awesome movie.
Okay. Do you want to go first?
I do, and I have like a couple things to jab about because I've had some experiences this month, and I've watched some really cool things too.
Ooh.
So one thing I just finished watching the Hawkeye series, and I loved it. I thought it was so cool, awesome, have great characters in it, and I love the story. I love how I know it's like 6 episodes all for all of the episodes for all the series basically except for WandaVision. But it was so successful. They had like 8 or 9. I think.
Okay.
I think it was 9 actually.
All right.
But this show, one, I like that we get into Clint more because that's why I like that they finally gave Clint and Natasha their own thing because they are the only ones that did not have their own movie. Right. So we could get more into them. Like in this one, I'm not going to get too much into it because Whitney hasn't seen it. But like in this one, we get to see that Clint makes his own trick arrows. There's so many tricks he does with the arrows. It's so cool. Like one of them, like you can flick it and then things will get big. And then there's some purple putty will come out of it or smoke or these like arrow thingies will come out. It's so cool. It was nice to get into Clint's mind. What was going on? His hearing loss is an issue in there. His family. We even got to see the musical they made.
I've heard about
amazing.
The musical.
It's amazing.
Yeah, I was actually recently talking to Toddles, and I think he was telling me about that.
I love the Hawkeye series. I don't know. I might have to bump it up a little bit more.
That was actually what I was just about to ask you.
Than Falcon because, I don't know, I really loved this series. My sister was not down with it in the beginning, but I was down with it from the very beginning.
Where would you rank it? So, like, for me, from the stuff I've watched, WandaVision is still
it's
at
still
the top.
number one. WandaVision is superb. I'm sorry.
Okay, so it's still at the top. So,
it's still there.
So does it come after WandaVision?
For me, I don't know, because I'm not going to lie. Falcon and Winter Soldier was excellent. It was very excellent, but something about Clint's story, I really resonate. I don't know if it's because it has purple stuff in it. You know I love purple. Purple's my favorite color. I don't know. Like, maybe I have to put the Falcon, Winter Soldier, and him on the same level.
I'd probably have to watch
Loki will still always be last because I did not like the Loki series that much. I don't understand it.
I didn't dislike it. It just wasn't really hitting on...
I don't get it. I just didn't get why it was so popular. I didn't get why it was more watched than WandaVision. I wasn't that fond of it. I liked Kang the Conqueror parts, but I was like, I wouldn't watch Loki again. That's my issue. And it wasn't that the story was bad.
I would watch it again to compare it, to like have like comparisons,
I wouldn't watch it again.
To analyze what didn't work as well for me as far as why it's last for me.
I don't know. I just kept wondering, like, what are they doing? And then with the problem with WandaVision, you're wondering what are they doing as well as you watch it for the first time. But it's building. It's opening, and you're getting a sense of what's going on. With Loki, it was just like random stuff you're like, what are they doing? And then random stuff will happen. Then you're like, what is this about? And then more random stuff will happen. You're like, come on, what is this really? That's what I kept saying. And I didn't say that with WandaVision. I was just like, what's happening? But like, oh, I'm getting it now. Stuff is happening. I'm digging. I'm following the mystery. This one, I was just stuck in mystery with Loki, and I was like, everywhere. I guess that's a good thing for surprise factor or whatever, but I don't know. Loki's series wasn't hitting it to me, and I'm not like against Loki, and Loki's not my favorite character, of course.
I actually really like Loki as a character, but his series just wasn't strong for me.
Me neither, and they're doing another one, which
it wasn't
I'm like...
weak, but it just wasn't strong. It was, to use which is going to get a little bit more into my Blerd Out, but it was a little bit middling for me.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just like, Loki was going to be on the bottom. That's all. Every time. For all the series that they put out this year, Loki for me is always in the bottom. Right now, I don't know. I really love Clint's one so much. Maybe I have to go back and watch Falcon and Winter Soldier, but I'm about to put it above Winter Soldier just because I loved it so much. But I do love Winter Soldier too. So let's just put them both at 2 for right now. Okay. Yeah.
Right. And I think the Falcon and the Winter Soldier probably stuck with you even more.
Hawkeye was so much fun, and then it had girl power in it because you had Kate Bishop and you had Yelena. It was just like, it was just fun, and it's Christmas time. I loved it. I loved it. It was so fun.
Well, I can't wait to watch it now that it's over because you guys know how I feel. I like to binge watch my way through stuff.
Yeah. Okay, so my second Blerd Out is something that I excuse me. Sorry. My second Blerd Out is I went Whitney was supposed to come with us, so she wasn't feeling well. Y'all be careful out there because sickness is going around, okay? Don't be like me and be like, I don't need a mask anymore. It's not just COVID, you guys.
It's still the regular winter stuff that goes around, like upper respiratory infections and stuff.
Flu, strep, all this kind of stuff. Don't be like me and be like, I don't need to wear no mask. And then you have a friend with you and then they coughing and crap and you're getting sick. So that's what's happening. I still have a little hoarseness in my throat. I'm still overcoming it, but I'm fine now. But still, like, I have to like be careful, or I wear my mask if the coughing fits start too much, you know. But other than that, I'm okay. But y'all wear your mask, please. It's still not over. People are out here getting sick. Please be careful in these streets. But I went to see the Van Gogh exhibit It was called the Van Gogh Immersive Experience. Y'all, it was phenomenal to me. Like, I would love to go again just to sit in the room where we had the immersive experience. It was like Van Gogh all around you on the floor in this, it was so beautiful. I felt like I learned even more about his life than I had actually known. I mean, I knew a lot so far.
It's like Bola's favorite artist.
It is my absolute favorite. Like, Van Gogh is my absolute favorite, and Whitney knows what my favorite painting of all time is.
Starry Night?
Yes. I love it. I love it. So I'm a girl, you know what? Y'all, I went all out for this. I bought me a Van Gogh t-shirt so I could wear there. I took my Van Gogh bag because somebody bought me a Starry Night bag. I had a Starry Night shirt on, which was like tie-dye-ish. One of my friends knew I loved a Starry Night, so she bought me, Kimberly, she bought me a Starry Night bag a long time ago, and I was like, love her for that, love her for that. And then Matt had brought me a Starry Night umbrella a long time ago because I wanted one so bad for my birthday, my 30th birthday, so I have to give props to him for that too, even though he got us sick. But I love you, Matt. I love you, Matt. So I was going a lot. I love Van Gogh, and I had a poster one time, but my niece ripped it, and I was so pissed. Yeah, I had a huge poster in my apartment when I was living at VCU by myself. Oh my God, I loved Starry Night so much. So to get in there and I watched the movie, the Love and Van Gogh, Love and Vincent, I think, which was the beautiful movie that had never been done before, where they had every frame of the animation was done by a painting in the style of Van Gogh's artistry. So it was beautiful, and I'm trying to get her to watch it. I hope she can watch it. I have the DVD. But it's really a lovely movie. But the experience itself was worth it. It was so worth it. It was beautiful to be in that room, surrounded by all, like, so much work and artistry went into what they produced to make that, like, 20-minute thing for you to sit in. It was, like, on the floor. If they had raindrops, it was like they had simulated it on the ground, on wherever you were sitting. It could, like, rain, not real rain, but, like, the look of rain was falling on your clothes and on your ground, on the ground, and you really felt immersed in that room. I don't know why. I felt so at peace and at home, just sitting there, just watching, listening to the music, and just sitting just watching all the paintings change. And then they had done all these scenes to, like, showcase all his different art and even different parts in his life, because, Van Gogh was very sick mentally. He had such terrible mental health issues. He had been committed at one point. That's why he cut off his own ear.
Was he schizophrenic?
Yeah, he had schizophrenia, and he had epileptic fits and stuff, and so he was manic, and very much manic, and very troubled, but he was so talented.
Well, if he was manic, then I wonder if he was then bipolar.
No, I call it manic because he had his fits of breaking out where he would just do something crazy. Like, he was fighting with his friend that he used to live with, and then he cut off his own ear, which is kind of manic to me. But he was schizophrenic, I would say. He was definitely schizophrenic because he had hallucinations, all this kind of stuff. It was terrible. But what I didn't notice is they had all this beautiful artwork done, the sunflowers and everything. They had I didn't notice how many wonderful quotes he had. Like, they had put some of his quotes everywhere, all over the building, all over the exhibits and everything. And I was like, I had to, like, record some of them and take pictures and write them down because they were beautiful quotes, like things that you needed to know. Okay, so I actually did make a list.
And while Bola's looking for her list, I just want to point out the fact that it's so funny. Bola was going to make a wonderful mother because you guys didn't notice it because I was like, had finished drinking from my water bottle while she was talking about her Van Gogh thing. And since it was empty, it wasn't heavy enough to, like, stay on this table beside me. And I was fumbling it around, and Bola seamlessly, not even, like, looking at it, she takes it from me and just sets it on the table.
A lot of kids around me, y'all. A lot of kids. Okay, so here's one that I really had to write down because I loved it. It says, if you hear a voice within you saying you cannot paint, then by all means paint, and that voice will be silenced. Oh. You can honestly take that and put whatever. You can take paint out and put whatever it is that you do. Sing, write, jump, run, whatever, swim, whatever you want to do. Create, mathematics, whatever. Whatever you want to do, stick that in there and be like, there might be a voice inside you telling you can't do something, but you just keep doing that thing anyway. That thing really, like, hit me, you know?
That's an awesome quote.
And then he says, paintings have a life of their own that originate in the painter's soul. Ooh. My God, can you imagine that? And then he said, color itself speaks its own language. You cannot live without it. I was like, that's so good.
Love it.
The last one I will give is a good picture is the equivalent of a good deed. Those were some awesome quotes. I took some pictures of other ones, but I'm not gonna go into that. So you guys, I don't know if you can, if you're on listening to this, if you're ever in the DC area, but I think they have this in other places actually.
Oh, okay.
Because it's like a group. Well, they said it was like a group in Belgium that produces this, and they put it everywhere.
Okay.
So it's like, it's from them, but they make it and they send it all over the world. So they set it up in different places because once the Van Gogh exhibit leaves, I think Matt said they're doing Frida Kahlo next.
Was he Dutch? What was?
Yeah. Van Gogh. He was from the Netherlands. Yeah.
Netherlands.
Mm-hmm,
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh yeah. So his name is actually Van Gogh. Van Gogh.
We in America like to say Van Gogh.
Yeah, but actually, you know what's funny? Because there was a quote that said that he just wants to be called Vincent because he hates that. He said that even in France and wherever he went, he's like, they couldn't pronounce his name. It was hilarious to me. I was just so sad how troubled he was and how much he didn't know. Like, I took a picture of how much his paintings go for. You're talking about $80 million for one painting. For some of his stuff is like even in private selection, private grouping, private area. But he only sold one painting his whole life and was considered a failure. Or he considered himself a failure. Yeah. But he was brilliant. He painted like, I'm trying to find the word for like constantly painting. He constantly made, he like produced. Prolific. Thank you. He produced so much stuff. It was amazing how many things he actually made. But it's so sad that now, like, I wish he could see. That's why I like that Doctor Who episode that they did.
Oh, so
that was the season. No, that was the season that I watched with you, and I love that Doctor Who episode.
Yeah, that was really
where
good.
Vincent got to see himself.
He went to a museum that had his work.
Yeah, it was amazing because I was like, look at what you inspire a lot of people, you know. But it was brilliant. I recommend this experience so much. I know I'm very much an art enthusiast, and that might not be your jam, but it was worth it. It was a lot of people there. It was beautiful. Get the VIP ticket, even though the good posters were gone by the time I got there. And I'm not gonna lie, the gift shop was a little too crazy.
What do you mean?
The gift shop was crazy.
As in so many people in there?
As in pricing.
Oh, okay.
I'm like, why am I paying $12 for this little ring right here? I did buy a Starry Night ring, and I did buy a Starry Night ring, and I did buy a glasses cleaner, the glasses cloth. But I did a different painting. I did the one with the almond blossoms. There's a famous one. His famous other painting is the almond blossoms.
Is that the yellow one?
No, that's the sunflowers.
Oh, okay.
There's one where they look like dogwood, but it's behind a backdrop of like greenish. I'll show it to you, but it's called Van Gogh's almond blossoms. Okay. It was one of his other famous paintings. So they had like a lot of just Van Gogh stuff. Okay. And it was definitely, the place was overpriced. I'm not gonna lie, y'all. The gift shop was crazy, but they had a lot of cool stuff. So I bought a glasses cleaner, and I bought a ring because I love rings, and then I also the part of our VIP ticket was we could get a poster, or we could get a button, two buttons, or two magnets. So I got like a magnet and a button. Cool. I got a button of the sunflowers, the famous one, and then I got a magnet of the French Cafe. That's another one of his famous paintings, the French Cafe painting. But y'all go do it. It's leaving in February. If y'all have a chance to, just go see it. Whitney, I know you didn't get to go with us. If you want, I will go with you again. I will pay, but I recommend you get your ticket like moved and try and go see. All right, get your mom or somebody you know.
I'll probably see about my mom going with me, and maybe Tiff if she can get some time off. But
somebody. It's really beautiful.
I'm gonna make sure to use my credit.
Yeah, I would since they allow you to because, and I didn't have to pay for parking. Hey.
Oh, nice.
I just rolled up and parked right in. There's because it's in a shopping center. Okay. Because it's like an old warehouse.
Well, that's good because I had to pay for parking. One of the pains of DC is the parking. So that's awesome.
We just Ubered to our restaurant. That's the only thing.
Well, that makes sense because other places that's not like a shopping center, like parking in DC is just like, ugh.
So I was Van Goghing out, y'all. I even made my nails look like Van Gogh. I have a picture. I will post a picture on our website, on our Instagram. Also, if you follow me, Bola at Storybe, you might need to request me or something. But I have a whole highlight.
At Storybe? I thought it was Bola Storybe.
My bad, y'all. At Bola Storybe on Instagram.
Because people might be like, can't find her.
But if you follow me, I have a whole highlight of all the pictures and things I took of that experience and some video. It's so beautiful, so beautiful. Okay, I'm done talking.
Sweet. Well,
all right, what about you?
I'm gonna look forward to it. So I'm blurting out about the 3rd season of Doom Patrol.
What is that?
I haven't told you about Doom Patrol.
Is this more kid stuff?
No, this is a it's
is it
a
animation?
DC. No, live action. So it's this DC property. So I wasn't really familiar with it before watching it, but they're like these kind of like off-kilter superheroes. They're like the kind of like rejects from society.
Like Suicide Squad?
Similar, except for they're like, the reason they're kind of like rejects is because they don't look like, they look so kind of abnormal. So like Elastigirl, Rita Farr, she like, if she gets like emotionally overcome, she sometimes can't control her powers, and then she turns into almost like this blob. So her like face starts to almost like, looks like it's melting or something. So it doesn't look pretty. And then the Negative Man, who's actually Larry Trainer, they don't usually really use their like superhero names in the here. Maybe they'll start in season 4. Maybe that'll be part of the thing because they haven't really.
Where? I've never heard of this. Where is this?
DC. It's on HBO Max. It used to be on the DC streaming service, but they shut that down and rolled it into HBO Max. So it's HBO Max. So it's similar to. It's in the same Well, no, it's not in the same universe as Titans, but it's in like another similar universe because they do encounter one version of the Doom Patrol. The Titans encounter one version of them, but it's not the Titans from this Doom Patrol. But anyway, so like Larry Trainer, he has this this alien inside of him. It's like this energy being, but like he encountered it because he was a pilot in the 50s or 60s. That was trying to be like about to like go into space and stuff. So his plane crashed. So he's like burned all over. So he always has like these. He looks like a mummy because he's always got these bandages on. Poor thing. Yeah. And then Cliff Steele, the robot.
Are they bad guys or are they?
No, they're good guys.
Oh wow!
But they just don't fit in with society in general, just because of how they look. Because Cliff, his brain is in a robot man. Like, it's the only thing that was left of him. He got in an accident, and so he's in this, like, robot.
Wow.
Yeah, and then, well, Jane actually looks normal, but Jane has DID.
Oh, wow.
And each of her personalities has a power. But
That's
Jane herself
crazy.
doesn't. But Jane's actually not, she's the primary, but she's not the base person.
Wow.
The base person is actually.
So is this like a newer thing? Because I don't remember hearing about these things.
Probably in 2018.
So they're newer.
17 or 18 is when it came out. But it's really good. It's weird. I got my mom into it. She started the 3rd season because she's been powering her way through stuff.
Your mom liked it.
She liked it, but she stopped at episode 2 of season 3 because there was this red guy and this green guy, and she was like, I don't know about the red guy. It just got weird for me. But I'm like, it's been weird the entire time, to be honest. It's
you
like,
do like the weird one, like even for me, weird
and wonderful. And like,
I'm not bad with weird, but it's just like if it gets too weird, and I'm like, nah, I'm out.
It's not Centaur World weird, but it is pretty weird. Okay. I actually think that you would really like it, and like the characters are awesome. Like Jane is my favorite character.
So it's called Doom Patrol.
Doom Patrol.
I'll check out episode out because I'm gonna finish The Watchmen. I promise you. I know it got weird for me, but I am gonna finish it.
Watchmen,
I'm gonna finish it. I
so
swear.
Good. I really wish you would. Yeah. Watchmen.
I forgot to mention the virtual reality. The little thing. I forgot to mention the virtual reality.
Actual reality.
Like if you're wearing glasses, be careful. That's the only thing. And ask those people to help you adjust it, because otherwise you just be looking stupid while you can't fit your head in that thing when you go to the Van Gogh experience.
Okay.
But it costs extra if you don't get if you get a regular ticket. It costs extra to do, and then you have to wait. But if you have a VIP ticket, you can just go there, and they put the VIPs first.
Nice. Yeah. But yeah, check out Doom Patrol.
Doom Patrol.
I think you'd like it. I also shout out to Todd, my friend Toddles, because he recommended he actually recommended a few things to me. He recommended this movie called 8-Bit Christmas, which I have not watched yet.
8-Bit?
Yeah, 8-Bit Christmas on HBO Max. And then this show called Santa Inc., which is a claymation show, but it's an adult show. So it's don't have your nieces and nephews watch it.
Is this on HBO as well?
HBO Max, yeah. And I just watched it and finished it. I enjoyed it. Thanks, Todd. It was enjoyable. It was kind of like.
What do you mean adult? As in risque, pornographic, or just adult content like
adult
Family
content,
Guy?
Adult content.
Is
there's
it on
also there's some stuff swinging. And there's some beavers out in the wild. also adult content.
You said what?
I said that
there's some stuff swinging.
there's some stuff swinging, and there are beavers out in the wild.
What are beavers out in the wild? What does that mean?
Maybe I don't have the right word for it. There's muffs out in the wild.
What in the world?
There's boxes in the wild.
You know what? We're just gonna leave. I'm gonna ask you what this means off camera because off the mic because I think you need to tell me what you're talking about. I have never, and I've heard a lot of euphemisms for sexual things. I have never heard beavers out in the wild. Wait, is this like for poo stuff with poop?
No.
Oh, thank God.
Private parts.
Oh my
Lady
gosh,
and
I don't
men's
know.
private parts out and about in the wild.
Okay, that's what you mean. So it's just like parts are out and it's Santa. Well, okay.
But
That's interesting, Whitney. Very interesting.
It's funny.
Okay.
Y'all,
on that note, let's go back to some wholesome Christmas talk, okay?
I think that was the end. Oh, not
sorry,
quite
you have
the end
another
of
one?
My Blerd Out, but like, which I haven't started it yet, but I'm just blurting out about the fact that I'm about to start season 2 of The Witcher because it just came out recently.
I know.
So
Everyone's
I'm
talking about The
excited
Witcher.
about Have you watched it yet?
Not yet. So many things. I know. I get caught up.
It's another one I think you would really
I'm still trying to catch up. I've been trying to watch the Klaus movie all day. I'm trying to get my family to watch it with me.
Klaus.
But no one wants to watch it with me, so I'm going to watch it by myself. And I got stuck. I got really into this documentary about Nigeria, about building up colonies. So I was listening to that while I was working. So I just keep watching other stuff. Well, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I have that problem.
And
too.
then I watched this movie that we're going to review today. There's so much stuff, so much content, y'all, so much content.
And so much good content. It's not like it's like crap. There's like a lot of good stuff.
I was trying to finish Insecure. I'm trying to finish. They only have one more episode left, and I'm really going to be sad about that. The Flash, the last season started, so I was watching Armageddon. Yeah, it was really good. I love The Flash. It's such a good show. I'm glad they're ending it now before it gets really like bad.
Yeah,
you know, when it was like they don't have anything to do anymore. Like, just stop, you know?
Well, I'm glad about that. Cause
I'm sad, but I love The Flash.
That means I'll be able to restart watching it and just binge watch my way through it.
You could binge now, but you're not going to.
You know what? Actually, you're probably right. With as many seasons as they have, I probably could binge now.
You probably finished binging.
I've got other projects. I'm currently binging Bones as my long-term project. And New Girl.
You will probably finish watching The Flash before The Flash ends if you were to binge it all like you do the other shows. But if not, if you're taking your time with it, you will finish it before this new season. I mean, you won't catch up to where this new season is. It will finish. I feel like the new season will finish and be done before you finish all the other seasons. That's because this is the 8th season, I think.
Yeah, and this is like a network show, so it's got like 22 episodes per season at 45, 42
And then I'm
minutes.
not going to lie, some of them it's going to be awkward because they have all these crossovers. So it's like you will have to find the crossover episodes to get the whole story. That's the only thing. You don't have to go back and watch Legends if you don't want to, or Arrow, but you just have to find those crossover episodes so you can complete the story. Those are cool though. I love the crossover episodes. Okay. Yeah. Bitch. Although I do feel like the last crossover they did was too similar to the whole thing. It looked like they were trying to do Marvel's story, and I didn't know what they were doing. I was like, Flash, what are y'all doing? This is not. It was. I wasn't as pleased with that crossover. Okay. The last one they did. Anyway. All right, so are we ready for A Naija Christmas?
Let's do it.
A Naija Christmas. Keresimesi. Keresimesi.
Keresimesi. Okay.
So first, no, I'm sorry. No, let's try again. Okay. Keresimesi. 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 You know what's so funny? I told my sister, because I'm very much into languages and culture and history, and I told my sister that I was like, the word for Christmas in Yoruba is so interesting because it doesn't sound like anything. It doesn't sound like anything else we have in our language. And I literally came up with this in my mind. I'm like, you know what? I bet you, like, when the white people showed up and they brought all this stuff, and the Europeans, let's say the Europeans showed up and they brought all this stuff, and they're like, Christmas, and then Nigerian person like, what is Christmas? They can't say it right. They're like, Keresimesi. Okay, let's just call it Keresimesi. Because it sounds like just the Yoruba way to say Christmas if they don't know how to say Christmas. Because there's always a bunch of words that they can't say.
Look at, like, in Japanese, I think, now it's been a while since I've done Japanese, but I think that is, in Japanese, it's Merry Christmas.
Yeah, Merry Christmas. Yeah, because, Japanese have to have a vowel ending syllabic for everything. Everything's syllabic, right? Yeah. So it makes sense that they can't just say like,
with the exception of except for is considered its own syllable, but you can kind of like so kun is actually 2 syllables. It's ku and but it sounds like one because the kind of like it doesn't make like you don't like your jaw doesn't have to move.
I feel like it's after certain words, like they can't, like after an S, they have to have something that's there, like especially after S's and stuff. They have to be like it might seem like they're not saying the other letter, but it's like they slur it so quick.
Yeah.
Like what's that word? Gambatemasu. It's actually gambatemasu, but they just say it so quick.
Right.
Gambatemasu. But so it just sounds like mas. But it's like, yeah, exactly. Anyway, so I just thought it was hilarious because I was like, I told my sister that, and I thought it was funny because I was like, we don't have words for Christ and Mass in Yoruba because that's not what they did back then.
It was interesting because it was very
but that's the Yoruba word now. That's what it is. Keresimesi means Christmas.
It was like Yoruba-ish in some places because of like they would switch.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So she's talking about in the movie. So we're watching you guys. This is a Netflix movie. It just came out this year, December 16th. And this is Christmas Day, so I want you guys to go ahead and listen and watch that as an awesome film. It's really, really fun. First impressions, I thoroughly enjoyed it so much.
I really enjoyed it as well.
You did. Yeah. I'm so excited. Because I mean, like,
you know, it's not like a you know, one of those like Oscar-winning things, but it's a Christmas movie.
Yeah, none of the Christmas movies are like Oscar-winning things.
Though honestly, I think Klaus might have been could have been up for an animation.
I am gonna watch it.
For its like animation and stuff, but it's like all of these Christmas movies, you watch them and you have a certain expectation,
and they're gonna be like nice and cute,
and exceeded my expectation.
Yay! It exceeds an expectation.
Yeah,
because
it was like it was a nice Christmas story.
Exactly, and it was like to me, I love that it kept its Nigerian essence. It had all the cultural points. And they still tried to be like, this is a Christmas story for here. Like, it was just so wonderful because it's like, yes, it had all the things that I would imagine a good Christmas Nigerian movie would be. And this was it. Like, because there was some ways that it could have gone, and I was like, oh, Lord, I hope it doesn't go left. But it didn't. It was wonderful. And I'm like, nah, this can be up here. I can watch this. Like, I can watch Love Actually. And, like, I can watch, actually, Bridget Jones is not a Christmas movie, but I watch Bridget Jones on Christmas. I love it. Or any one of the other ones, you know. Oh,
yeah, Love Actually. I forgot that's like
one of my favorite ones.
Pretty much like a Christmas movie.
It's just a fun situation, and it's cultural. So to me, I just love it because it's hilarious to me.
It was hilarious. I mean, like...
it has some great stuff in there, right?
Ugo was, for me, my favorite, like, funny character.
Yeah, Ugo was a mess.
Like, his quotes, like, throughout the movie when he was, like, when their mom was in the hospital... And he said whatever he said about she's we're taking it slow, long-term relationship. And then his brother, what's his brother's name? Chike,
the younger one, yeah.
Chike said pretty much the exact same thing. He was like, oh, so you couldn't come up with anything better?
Really?
You just copy and paste.
Yeah, and that's so funny.
Was so funny.
That was hilarious. Ugo was a mess. Anyway, so let me get into the Let's get into what the main story was. So, as usual tropes of Nigerian movies, there's always something family related, because they're a collectivistic society, so everything's about the family and the whole and the unit all together. So, of course, it's either the church or the family, whichever one. And in Nigerian movies, most of the time, you're going to have both. And, of course, Christmas time is about family, and they go to church all the time for Christmas. But it was about a celebration. But it's about this family with this woman with 3 sons who are grown up, and none of them are married, which is like really bad for African families. If you have grown children past like 30 or so, or in their 30s at least, or like past 25, and none of them are married, it's like a problem, you know. So they're all like the mom went to a church function. I love the name of the ladies of undiluted something. The name of the group was Ladies of Undiluted Destiny. I was like, it's so Nigerian, so silly. Undiluted Destiny. Oh my God, Whitney, I couldn't take it. But anyway, so the mother, who being jealous because one of the other ladies has a grandchild, let's say for now.
Well, I don't know if it was just that. I feel like it was because she was the only one without a grandchild. Because it seemed like her entire group were
they all have grandmoms. They all have children or grandchildren. And she was the only one. And so And then one of her sons was doing like a
Was
one of her
proposing.
sons was proposing and got rejected so royally.
And then, of course, in this age of social media, somebody
somebody sent it to her, and she got so upset. And then she did what all African parents like to do: guilt trip. She was so great at guilt tripping the sons. And so she was in the hospital, y'all. And then the sons were like, Mom, are you okay? Whatever. So she was so mad at them. She's like, you guys, I want to be a grandma. I want to bring women to me so I can meet them, so I can see you guys in a relationship and everything. And then all of the boys were like, stuff was going on in their life. Like, Ugo is such a player. He's the first brother. He's a super player. So he ain't even trying to settle down. The second one was a lovesick puppy, but the girl is really not feeling him like that. And then Chike is just doing him. He's just chilling. He's like, shoot, I'm the youngest. I don't got nothing to do. Like, he was just not caring. But we find out later that he had somebody on the side.
And that was a funny
He had somebody on
the
side.
twist, too, because they made it look like a certain way throughout it. Because I was like, oh, is this happening?
He had somebody on the side. Somebody married on the side, okay? Yeah. So all her sons were like, and then Chike just blurted out that they'll bring somebody by Christmas. And then another level to it was that they have this nice and family home. So they were probably one of the richer, like a more well-off family. So because you saw the surroundings, they were in a more well-off area, more well-off family. And so she said that this house, instead of the house, usually everything falls to the oldest. But she said which one of the brothers marries and brings a woman to him and makes the family, they can get the house. So Ugo being upset, he's like, no, this is my birthright. I'm the first one. And she was like, no, I give the house to whoever I want. So, and it like set this whole thing in motion for like a contest between the brothers. It was so great. You talk, Whitney.
So one of the plot points that I thought was interesting that took like a turn, the youngest brother, GK, he kept like being on the phone because he's like a gym trainer, and he kept being on the phone.
That's what I was wondering.
Yeah,
he said,
a
client
trainer. Yeah,
okay.
Like he worked at a gym.
Yeah.
And he kept getting phone calls from somebody named Sammy, and his brothers were like, "Who is Sammy?" And I'm like, "Oh snap! Do they have like is one of the brothers gay?"
Honestly, my sister was like. We thought at one point where he was like, oh, no. One of the brothers was like, we don't have time for this now. And my sister was like...
that's the point I was getting to.
Yeah.
Well, but that's after we as the audience already knew that Sammy was a woman. But then you see his middle brother, Obi. He's like, I gotta go. Sammy. And he was like, Chike, no, we are not ready for this yet.
Yeah, no, because they all assumed that maybe he was gay, and it was like, luckily no one brought it up, but it was a funny plot point.
It was
to put in there,
and the fact that the middle brother said, "We're not ready for this yet."
Yeah. So Obi is
the middle brother.
Oh, the middle brother
who got rejected on social media
because he's such like a dork, and he like blinks with his little glasses. I love it.
It's almost like a twitch. Yeah.
Yeah, he's like. I can't. Well, you guys can't see this, but I'm like blinking like really bad.
It's a rapid blink.
It was so cute because it's supposed to be like he's supposed to be like nerdy and like sweet, and Ugo's supposed to be like smooth.
And he's actually really built. But I was like, dude,
girl, all of them are fine. I don't take any one of them. Okay,
you should change your shirt because like the whole shirt, the T-shirt over the other thing. I was like, dude, I don't think that really works for you as well.
His style, yeah. But he was supposed to have like a cool, simple style because he wasn't a creative field. Where he was an advertiser. He works in advertising. And then he has this best friend called Kaneng, who's a girl who like is always there with him, secretly loves him, but he can't see it.
Yeah.
She was even there to help him like do his proposal. He tried to do like it was so hilarious. He tried to do like a
flash mob
proposal, and then you just see the girl Vera, and like she has the popcorn in her hand.
What is going on? What are you wearing?
It was so bad because they're doing all these African dances in front of her, and she's like just looking at it. She's like, you guys have lost your mind.
Oh man.
It's such a Nigerian thing because she just didn't. You normally like you can get it. Like
her character to me was interesting because
Vera's a bum. Vera's like a social climber. She was using him. She didn't care about him like that.
See, I wasn't sure about it because initially I just thought I didn't know like why she rejected him, and then when she like accepted his proposal, when he asked, "Are you just using me?" I was like, "Oh, is she?"
Maybe
she did seem I mean I think she was a manipulative person overall.
I think so,
but I think
it's not uncommon.
I do wonder if she did care for him at on some level, but just like she said, just was afraid of maybe she's not a person who picks people well. So the fact that he was actually a nice guy and smart could have been factored into it.
This is some cultural thing I have to show you. Okay, so there's a lot of like this goes on. Sometimes a lot with the girls don't mind using the guys. They don't mind putting on the airs to get what they want. I'm not gonna lie.
But that's the
some
thing
of the
I
girls
didn't
do that
understand,
over there now.
It seemed like she was in a higher position than Obi.
No, but she needed him because he had the ideas. He was the brilliant one.
Okay.
And he helped her get the clients.
Okay.
So she needs him more than the other way around.
Okay.
He works there, and that's his job, but he had the ideas. He was getting the client. You could tell that was the issue, that she needs him, and then, just to placate him, whatever. And she's like, okay.
Get this client for me. Okay,
You saw her, right?
I got you, yeah.
If you want to help me, if you want me to... I was just mad because I know what kind of woman she is. She's that opportunist. That's the one. Those are the ones, the opportunist ones. They'll flip the switch when the opportunity needs it, So I don't think she cared about Obi like that for real. Not like Kaneng did. Kaneng was there for him.
Yeah, obviously Kaneng really, really cared about him. I mean, they were best friends. So, I mean, obviously you've got a really strong emotional foundation there already.
Yeah, and then, okay, so let's talk about Ugo. Ugo is, like the Nigerian moms warn you about this particular guy. Like, Ugo is a super uber player, smooth. He used the same lyrics and lines on all the chicks, and he's a music producer. So, of course, he's like extra smooth.
He was kind of the male version of Vera. I mean, what's her name, Vera?
He's a player. Yeah, Vera was the girl that he wanted.
Yeah. He was kind of the male version of Vera without being like as much manipulative, but he was kind of opportunistic because the reason
he's a player for real. Yeah. Like he's honestly he's a player for real.
He's a player,
but he was using Ajike, which is the girl that he ended up liking.
Yeah,
he was using her because his main goal was like, I'm gonna get this house
so I can sell my freaking. I'm like, dude, that's a family house.
Yeah, he ain't care. He didn't care. That was the other thing, guys. So. The problem was he had used some loan sharks to get money for his studio, for the equipment for his music studio.
Tony Torpedo.
And then Tony came. Tony Torpedo was the loan shark that came up and was like, I'm ready to collect now. And what? Ugo didn't have no money. He didn't have his money. He didn't have nothing. So
honestly, I really like Tony Torpedo's
me too.
character.
I like Tony Torpedo. Okay,
because he just kept taking people's stuff.
Tony Torpedo would show up at the most random times. The funniest thing to me was how every time Ugo went to his house, like something would be gone. Like his house was just. I remember at one point they even took the cushions off the sofa.
I was like, dang.
They took his fishbowl. He would just roll up every time. Oh, this is nice. And snatch. Oh, this is nice. And then it just like, you just know the deal. He just rolled up at home and then everything was gone. Every time he went back to his house, something was gone. Like, it was so...
And the laugh he would do, then he would just kind of laugh at them.
Yeah, and it was so messed up because he didn't tell his brothers. He didn't ask for help. And that's kind of like a pride thing. Definitely a Nigerian pride thing. He's the oldest one. He's supposed to be better. He's supposed to do whatever. And then he's just like, I'll handle my stuff myself. He was getting beat. I remember that one time he thought he was going to be bold. I love the henchman's name was Javelin. So it was Tony Torpedo as the main guy, and then Javelin, his henchman, who was doing stuff. And he tried to roll up. Javelin hit him down so Javelin just like, don't even try, dude. I got you. Beat his ass.
And I love Ajike's uncle. Like when they went to the what was the area called?
Okay, so Mushin is like a ghetto. It's like the hood. It's like the word. It's like, my God, it's like not a good area.
I knew it was ghetto because they said it was the ghetto, but I couldn't remember. But like the Mushin and then one of the church ladies had her purse stolen.
Yeah, her purse was snatched.
Chike was like,
Sammy. It was actually Sammy. Sammy had her purse snatched.
Oh,
the woman that Chike was dating, who she was married, one of the church ladies.
Right.
So she was twice his age.
I didn't realize it was Sammy's purse who was snatched, but he was like, Chike was chasing after the thief, and Ugo and Ajike were already there, so they see the thief run by, and then the uncle, like Ajike's uncle, is like, just calls the guy's name and he stops. He's like, give it back.
So they know what they do. There's a lot of, that's one of the things, like, so certain areas, as in any country, you gotta be really careful. There's some areas where they're poor, where like crime is very rampant, people will snatch it. You gotta be careful. I even know that for sure. Like, you can't just have your phone hanging out, and then people will just come past you and snatch it out of your hand. You have to be very vigilant and careful about all your belongings and stuff. So, again, they were in that rough enough area where that happens a lot.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it can happen anywhere, but it happens a lot there. So, they were even like, the other ladies were like, why are we here? They were all like, we don't live in this area. Yeah, but Mushin was the ghetto.
But I just thought it was funny how he like ran past and the uncle just said like, just
give it back.
And he just stopped. He was like,
yeah. And so with Ugo's story, Ugo had a bunch of string of women coming through his studios, and then he didn't even remember their names, which was so dumb.
And he talking about his brother copy and pasting. He copy and pasted his own material.
And he did it to Ajike too. And Ajike was in the room because she was using one of his colleagues was helping her with a demo, so they were using the studio without him knowing. And then he brought a girl back, and he made the guy leave, and she had to hide. And of course, his chicks rolled up because they knew what kind of bastard he was. So he had a girl there, and then 2 other chicks that he like kind of like cheated on or whatever, they came and rolled up on him and like, you're an idiot. They got on him, they like poured water on his sound systems.
Oh, yeah.
It was terrible. And then he was like, who are you? So he found Ajike in that room because he was hiding from the girls. And the funny thing I love is like, they keyed his car, but they didn't spell idiot the right way.
He's like, I do it. What does I do it? And she's like, they're not good spellers. It should have been idiot.
Yeah.
And he was like, why do I date women who don't know how to spell?
They'd be like, that's a you thing, because you only looking at one thing, you know? You ain't check if she was smart up there. The funny thing I love, GK was like, I'm going to be back, though, because I need my demo. And then he ends up finding, when he tried to pass off one of his business colleague. Mm-hmm. He tried to pass that off to his mom so he could secure the house. And the mom sent her packing. She's like, I know who this chick is. Get out of my face. Bring me a real woman. So he was like, he went to church, of course. He's like, where am I going to find one? In church. That's Nigerian way. Find somebody in church.
I knew it was coming up. He's like, where do I find these good girls that you do talking about, Baba?
And then there you go. GK was singing in the church. Mm-hmm. It was hilarious. I loved it. And then he finagled his way onto the choir team so he can get closer to her. He was such a manipulative bum. I couldn't stand it. But GK, she held her own. Mm-hmm. She's like, oh, you know what? I'm not the one. Mm-hmm. You're not going to get over on me. Plus, I witnessed your actions in real time. I saw what you were doing. And when he brought her back to the studio, he tried to put it on her. She's like, weren't these same lines for Tanwa or whoever that was, Tessie or whoever this girl was? And he was like, nah, it's not like that. She's like, yes, it was. And she got up and she just like, take your jacket back. I'm out. It was so funny. She carried him so many times.
Oh, yeah.
My favorite time was because she's really into church. Mm-hmm. She's super the churchy type of girl. So, which means you got to get down with church with her if you're going to be down with her. So, when he thought he was taking her to an all-night, like a club, mm-hmm. She took him to an all-night, she invited him to an all-night prayer-thon thing that they did. It was so funny because he was so mad.
And I thought it was funny because his business partner friend.
She knew. And she let him go too. She's like, oh, you don't know what kind of all-nighter they're doing. And so Nigerians are fond of doing that. They love to do all-night prayers all through the night. Long things. I remember I used to do that when I was growing up. Mm-hmm. We used to do these long night visuals where we would just be praying in there for hours at night. And I'd be like so sleepy, but we would do them. Mm-hmm. And so to me, I just thought it was hilarious because he was like, nah, this is not what I was here for. And he had to stay. He was so mad at her, but I was like, that's what you get. So it was just so funny. And then poor Chike ends up falling for a married woman. I mean, she was just looking to get her pound town on. While her husband was away.
Yeah, that was messed up.
I was mad. I felt bad for him because he was like, you gonna leave her, right? You gonna leave your husband, right? I was like, You don't know, Nigerians don't really divorce like that. Not really. And
honestly, any situation where that happens, even even outside of Nigerian culture, you see it on TV or movies, it's like, they hardly ever leave the wife or the husband. Hardly ever.
And apparently he had gone or something. They didn't really get into her story, but he had gone. But then he came back, and she was like, no, my husband's back. So this was just fun for her.
Population.
It was just fun for her. She was getting it on with a younger man.
I felt bad for him.
Yeah, I felt bad for Chike. And then he was like, oh yeah. He really felt like he came to an epiphany trying to help Obi with his problem between Vera and Kaneng. So the whole point was Kaneng was trying to, because Vera so publicly embarrassed him. She came up with this idea. Kaneng, who's his best friend, who actually loves him, was like, let me help you get her back by pretending that we're getting close. Mm-hmm. And it worked because I was like, it's the perfect thing. He's like, we're not in school anymore. And I was like, you don't know that stuff works, okay? And so it was just a wonderful idea she had, but I just don't know if she realizes okay, you're already feeling some kind of way. Why would you do anyway, I don't know. I just wasn't sure if Kaneng was trying to keep distance or just get closer to him that way. I don't know what she was thinking, but it kind of blew up in her face because at the party, she thought he would really be feeling her more. Mm-hmm. And then once Vera said, "Oh, he asked me to marry him, and I'm going to marry him," and he accepted, and he said it in front of everybody, then she left crying. I felt bad for her.
Yeah. I really liked her. She was cool.
But then he came back and he just agreed to marry Vera, and then he came outside and kissed Kaneng. So I was like, what is your problem?
Dude, I mean, you're usually cool, but this was not a good sequence of events, man. This was not good.
Y'all, it's such a funny twist, and it had beautiful music. Oh my God, the Fuji music. Oh my God, I love the celebration section. I love the fight even between them. So great. It had such wonderful stuff. They showed pictures of food. The mom was hilarious. All the relationships and things were funny. The storylines were amazing. It's just a good watch, y'all.
I can't remember what the lady's name was. The salty one in the group,
Mrs. Fakarede.
Who needed to go and sit down somewhere.
I was like, you can leave.
I was like, isn't this a church group? But that's the problem with some churches. I mean,
it's everywhere.
Church is everywhere.
It's everywhere. You got those fake folks. Those fake folks. They just love stunning on people.
Dude, this is for the Lord. This is for the Lord. This ain't about you.
Yeah, and I was just like, why are you showing her these video images knowing that she almost passed out the last time? I was like, what's your problem? But you always have those salty aunties who want to floss on everybody.
So salty. I was like, dang.
She just wanted to floss on everybody because their mom was like the main. She was the president. She was the main, but she wanted to be like, well, I got one on you. You know, it's a thing. It happens. Everybody wants to floss in Nigerian culture. They want to be the best. That's the thing. There's so much pride. Like, it really is so much pride. It's crazy. But Whitney, you have some questions for me you wanted to ask about the cultural thing.
Oh, yeah. It was just mainly about the language because, like, of course, I always watch everything with subtitles on. Mm-hmm. And at certain points, it would say that they were talking, instead of in Yoruba, they were saying something in Igbo.
That's Igbo. Igbo.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so Whitney's right. So there's a bunch of languages and cultures and tribes in Nigeria. The main big ones that you always see together all the time are Igbo and Yoruba people. Mm-hmm. And so a funny thing is, actually, the mom was speaking Yoruba the whole time. Mm-hmm. She's Yoruba. Miss Agatha was their mom for the three boys. Mm-hmm. She was speaking Yoruba the whole time, but her sons have Igbo names. Mm. And if you listen to the names, especially when he was talking about Ugo Chukwu, that's not Yoruba. All of her sons have Igbo names. Mm-hmm. I'm assuming that she was a Yoruba woman and she married an Igbo man. Mm. So personally, I didn't hear Igbo at all, really, except for when Ajike was singing. So she sang a song in Yoruba, and then she sang a song in Igbo, and I recognized them both.
It didn't happen very often, but I did notice at some points that the subtitles said that it was in. And then the other one that I saw in the subtitles was Pidgin, P-I-D-G.
Pidgin English. Okay, so Pidgin English is it's basically a pidgin of English. So it's not really like normal English. It's like a English influenced by a cultural. So they don't say the same things. Like a way to say instead of saying like "How are you," we would say "How far." They say that all the time. "How far," as in like, "How are you?" That's what it means. Or they will say some stuff in like, make we do or something like that. It's like, let's go and do something. So it's like they switch it around a little bit. There's like a little mix of the language. It's like they
the
use
Yoruba version of Spanglish.
Yeah, it's a bit of a Spanglish or a Yoruba-Blinglish. I tried that, y'all. So it is. There's Pidgin English. It's not easy to understand at all. So sometimes I try to catch things by watching it so much. Mm-hmm. But if they speak for too long, I'm just like, anyway. So sorry about that, guys. But there is such thing as a Pidgin English in Yoruba, and so they speak that a lot. Mm-hmm. So it's like carry they go, now make my. It's just like a shortening of English instead of saying all the English out. Okay. You know what I mean? So it's one thing they say in their language, and there's another way they speak English. The local localities and like around the streets, and everybody knows how to speak Pidgin English. Mm. And then there's advanced English. Like correct English, Okay. So that was the thing that was happening because they go back and forth. That's the thing. So I noticed that does happen a lot. They went back and forth between everything.
I would see it often in the subtitles, like in Pidgin or whatever.
Like Javelin. I know at one time he was trying to explain. It was so funny, that one scene where Obi came to the club to meet Torpedo.
Oh, yeah, that was funny.
Because Torpedo ended up being, Tony Torpedo ended up being Kanang's ex-boyfriend that she's talking about. Which I figured
when she kept talking about Tony, I was like, I bet it's Tony Torpedo.
I looked at her, I was like, Kanang, why are you dating Tony Torpedo? Like, why?
That's a good point. I was like, why, girl, why?
Why? But,
another funny point was when she kept talking about her banker boyfriend. And then when, like, Obi finally meets him, he's like, but she said you were a banker. And then Tony Torpedo kind of has this, like, odd look. He looks at Javelin, he's like, yeah, I can see it. Like, I was like, yeah, I mean, that could work as far as describing what I did.
Oh, my God, hilarious. It's so funny.
He's a loan shark, and she calls him a banker. He's like, oh, okay. Yeah.
I was so mad when he pushed her out of the house without her clothes, so she came to work in her pajamas. I was like, Tony, that's a bitch ass move. Sorry, I'm sorry. That was messed up. You don't do a girl like that. Oh my gosh,
really messed up.
That would happen though. Guys would be tripping, man. Anyway, yeah. So what was the thing we were talking about?
Oh, I can't remember.
Okay, what's another question you got?
That was like my main questions. Because
the language difference,
the language where
because there's so many operating together. It's pidgin English, it's regular English, or proper English. So if you notice, the ladies were all speaking proper English, supposed to show that they're an elevated class, and then the regular local people, they were speaking their language or they were speaking pidgin English. And so then you have Yoruba and Igbo together. So you would either speak all Yoruba or all Igbo. So. You had that all together, but for the most part, the movie was in English. Like the main guys, they spoke regular English, honestly. Right. So, but I like it because the language they do go back and forth, and even in Yoruba, my family they always mix English words in when they're talking, which is how I can understand some stuff sometimes. And
I also liked the interview panel at the church, both when he was trying to join the choir and then when he was trying to date.
So that goes back to the whole collectivistic society thing. Like even in Nigerian culture, if you wanted to marry a woman, if you're a guy and you have to come and like greet her whole family. You have to ask them. You have to prostrate on the ground, everything. You can't just be like, I'm gonna marry this chick. No, you have to go and talk to the family. It's just because that's how they do stuff. So for her, I don't know if she has family or anything, but for her, since she's a ward of the church, they're like, no, this is our own. So if you want her, you have to come and talk to us because she's our own. And so I love how they were talking about like, you want to do hit and run. You want to do hit and run.
That's what I was trying to get to.
That's part of like hit and run. That's part of like the slangs and stuff. They want to do hit and run. He's like, no, that's not me. Which is actually him. That is really him. But at that time, he wasn't trying to do that. I felt bad for how he talked to her at the party, the big celebration that went well for everybody. Yeah. But he was just assuming that she was one of those girls on Tony's payroll, like one of those. He was basically assuming she was a prostitute or something. And I was like, you just can't be throwing that allegation around. He got a dirty slap, and he deserved it, okay?
Yeah, he did.
He got what we call a dirty slap. A dirty slap.
Especially since she was there trying to help his SSL.
And then she found out about the truth about the house, which, honestly, he deserved that, too, because everyone knew that was his plan. He was still, like, even though I think he was starting to like her more, his goal was still, I need to get this house, sell it so I can get some money, pay this guy back, get my stuff back.
Which was also just so messed up for the fact that it was the
worst, man.
Family home. This is the family home, dude. At least let one of your other brothers have it, since they want to keep it in the family.
You gotta think about yourself. That's the thing. That's what they do. Like they're like, nah, it's about me. So family issues always happen like that. But I just like that the brothers came together at the end, since they're the same. Luckily they're the same mom and dad. Like if it's different with the other mom, because there's some polygamy and all the stuff that happens sometimes. If it was different, it would definitely be a different case. Nobody would be helping nobody. So I'm glad that they came together and that like Ugo could just knock his pride down, because he was not. It was like nothing was working for him. Like he was so bad. I'm like, you're supposed to be the older one. Like I love Chike because Chike was at least he was delusional, but he was more mature than everybody else, and they really didn't do that much with his story.
Yeah.
That was the only thing. I wish he had gotten more story. But I watched the movie the second time, and I realized that at the end of the Christmas party where they're resolving everything, that he had brought another person with him.
I saw that too.
So I didn't notice that until the second time I watched it with my sister. When I first watched it, I was like,
where did you find her?
I was like, what about Chike? He need a girl too? Like, what's going on? I watched the first one. I'm like, that's why I gave it a score that I was like, nah, they didn't do Chike right. But I watched it again. I was like, oh, I still wanted more, but at least I noticed that, they brought a girl.
I still think that, it was kind of a throwaway.
Yeah, it's because it was like, I think the issue was between the two main brothers.
Yeah.
Chike was there as like an extra help and stuff, but they were like, they were like, he wasn't in the running for the house from the beginning. Like, and he wasn't interested. So that's why it was between the first two. Those were the ones button heads. The middle brother and the oldest brother were button heads all the time. You know, and I like that they went that he used his money, he paid for him.
I almost kind of preferred though that like
it would have been all three of them in the running.
No, I would have preferred that he still wouldn't have had someone at the end, or we would have gotten into how did he find this other person? Like, how did you recover from what was her name?
Yeah, because he looked Sammy, because he looked hurt and everything.
Yeah, he was like really
but
hurt.
I'm telling you,
really
Nigerians bounce back, yo. They bounce back quick.
They do. But I kind of wish that, because it was just kind of, she was just kind of there. So I'm like, I wish you have kind of left it kind of hanging, or maybe did like a teaser, like, oh, who's this new person? Like him looking at somebody and be like, oh, I'm kind of into it. Rather than,
I think
like,
they should have added
this
a scene.
person is just randomly here, like, who is this?
You know what I would have preferred they did? Actually, I would have preferred that they had not made the shot so distant. So it's like he was in the foreground where you saw that, and I was like, I would have preferred if they did like a close-up where we see it in person, because we were seeing it at a vantage point that he was like, oh, I want you guys to meet this person. There was other stuff in the foreground, really, where we were supposed to be focusing on the family, Ugo and Ajike, because they were getting back together. But I was like, I would prefer if they did a close-up shot where we got to see him do it, like, it's very intentional, where it was right there, like, I want you to see this. Because the funny thing was, you saw it, and you saw Sammy, like, looking a certain way with her husband next to her, but she was looking at Chike the whole time, and seeing that the other chick he was with, but like, yeah, but you didn't want this, so
but I
you
guess,
can be salty all day.
Now that I think about it, unless we got to see the development
That's what I
of
said.
that
It would have been better.
I actually, maybe I think I'm going to change my mind. I guess it's better this way, because if we don't get to see the development of the relationship, it doesn't make as much sense for it to be like front and center, because it's just like, then it's like, well, how did you meet her? I would be interested to know what your story was.
Yeah, so to me, I wanted them to put a scene in there where he met somebody new.
Yeah.
So we could see like, oh,
At
I'm
the
just
very
inviting her
least,
to the
it
party.
didn't even have to be like super long, but at least, establishing shot to be like, just like maybe in the gym with him being like helping some woman and being like, like a minute scene.
They should add a scene, or like I said, did a close up where we could be like, oh, this is a new girl I'm meeting, something like that while in that party scene. That's would have been good for Chike's story to me, because I liked Chike. Chike was the nicest of the brothers. He was so sweet, down to earth. He would never be like a cheater. He's not one of those ones who doesn't know what he wants. He was very much, I know what I want. I know what kind of man I am. So I love that kind of guy. But so he was so in love with Sammy, but Sammy was married, you know. And I was like, you can't. Like, I know you're in love with her, but you can't. Like, she's married. It's not gonna work. They never leave their husband. They never leave the wife. You know what I mean? So, but
it's just like,
that was my main. That's where it lost some points for me, because I wanted Chike's story to be a little more up to. But it really was a battle between the two older brothers, and I like that. And then you didn't see the mom as much. Because actually, a fact, if you saw in the beginning of the movie, the mother had died this year.
Oh.
The woman that played the mom, she's like a really big Nigerian actress. So everyone was sad that she died. Like, it was really surprising. I don't know if she was sick.
I did see a dedication at the beginning of the movie, but
that was to her.
I didn't know that was for her.
That was to her, Miss Rachel, yeah. So she died this year, actually, before the movie premiered. So it was very sad. But rest in peace. She was a wonderful, wonderful woman. You can still see some of her movies. Like, if you want to see her again, you can watch The Royal Hibiscus Hotel. That's another Nigerian movie that's good, that she plays a mom in as well.
Okay.
I like that one. So I just felt bad that she had died and the movie didn't premiere yet. Yeah. So that was the only thing. But at least we had that lasting one good one from her. Were there any other points or anything you had questions about or anything?
Not questions. I just really loved the fashion.
Yes, African fashion is great.
It is. It is. I loved it, and I loved how, especially like for the men. Well, specifically I liked Ugo's fashion. Like,
he was very
colorful, but it was clean, because like you don't see like European countries or America, like a lot of times guys are kind of limited as far as like what they wear. They're like, they don't have like a lot of flash, but like you
in
look
Nigeria,
like
they have some flash.
It's like, oh my god, that looks awesome!
Yes.
Look at these prints and these colors, and it
will
looks
wear
good.
It. Exactly. Yes, that's another thing I love. African men fashion, especially the ones that do have fashion. They're not afraid of colors. They're not afraid of prints. And I loved it. Even the girls' outfits were great. I remember you see some of them have the dresses for church.
And I love
styles.
the women's like head wraps.
Yes, everyone loves a head wrap. I'm telling you, everyone loves a gele. Like, we call it gele in Yoruba. Well, actually, Igbos call it gele too. But gele is the word for a head wrap.
Okay.
But we love a good gele. We just put it on, tie it on. It's artistry, actually. Yeah, if you go to Nigerian weddings, there's always a person paid to do the geles.
Okay.
Sometimes they can do the makeup too, but we have a woman that she will do everyone's gele. You just have to pay her money. And she crafts it, does it, pin it, whatever she need to do, and it's beautiful. Beautiful. I'd rather pay some money. But now they have something called an auto gele, which is they pre-make them.
I think I've seen them.
Yeah, they're not as good. I wore one to my cousin's wedding, one of my cousin's wedding, in the one I went to in July. I wore one because it's like a hat and then you gotta Velcro it so you can stick it and you tie it at the end.
Okay.
So it looks like you're wearing a regular gele, but it's actually, I mean, it is. It's the fabric, the same fabric. So the same print that everyone's wearing because everyone has to match. They would just make it for you. So they'll design it, pleat it, and do all that stuff. It's a whole ceremony. The gele has become such a fashion piece in Nigerian culture that it transforms as the fashion transforms too. And I love it, honestly.
I think
beautiful.
It looks, I think it's so cool.
It's so beautiful.
Awesome.
Everyone would look awesome in a head wrap. And then you even see, like, in their work environment, what can be considered workwear, what is fine. At work, they were still wearing their traditional clothes. Sometimes some of them were wearing like African prints. The men were wearing like shirts and pants, or they could wear suits, and that's all good. Like the women could wear the African clothes, or they could wear a head wrap, or they could wear their regular clothes, and it's still considered professional. I loved it. You saw all the different hair, everything. So I just liked this movie was so people can see like real Nigeria, real how people act and behave and things that there are things whenever you know of Africa is very limited. You need to go see and watch. That's why I watch cultural movies because I don't know what's going on over there. I want to know what's really there. I don't want to go by what I think or what I've been told or what the media shows me. And when you watch the movies made from that culture, you get to know and see different things.
Okay.
That's been my cultural education for a long time, watching foreign films and movies, because you get to see how their lives, how their country looks. I mean, there were some awesome parts of Nigeria that are so beautiful and lush, and then there's Mushin, where you see the cows on the street and the really crappy roads and trash everywhere and the nasty sewers that can, cause malaria. All this stuff is there. It's there too. You can see the marketplaces, all the food, and then you can see the nice dress places, the parties and everything. So it's like it's all there,
Yeah.
I just enjoyed it. I love the scene where she was in the club because she was trying to go to his level. I guess she felt bad for making him come to church. So she felt bad. So she dressed up and she got all, she got cute. And Ajike went to the club.
Yeah,
so she got drunk
too.
Y'all, she got drunk and started singing Hallelujah in the club. If you understand, like, the musics don't mix. They do one music in the club, they do a different one in the church. This lady was like, hallelujah, let's go to the left, to the right. The funny thing is, everybody was getting with her. At first, they were like, what is this girl doing? But then they're like, oh, wait. And then they saw how well she could sing. They got down. She made everybody do hallelujah in the club. Let's just give a clap for that. That was the funniest scene to me, because I was like, yo, especially because my family has a church. I know it. I'm just laughing at Nigerians reacting to this. I think my family's gonna watch this today on Christmas Day, and we'll enjoy it together. I've been trying to get my mom to watch it, but she only watched Korean movies. I don't know why. Anyway, any other additions? Any other things you want to mention about the movie before we get into the rating?
Nope, I think that's it.
All right, so Whitney, we'll start with you. What do you rate A Naija Christmas?
I think that I will give A Naija Christmas 8 glasses.
Hey, and like her, I gave not like her. I gave 8 glasses and a monocle. That's where mine was. I think it was a solid movie. Very good attempt at an official Christmas Nigerian movie, because we don't really have those. And I was very proud of them.
Is it just an attempt though? I would say
it's a good, because I've never seen them do it. Like, there's never been like a Nigerian Christmas movie. There's just Nigerian movies.
Gotcha.
But they literally, somebody sent out to make a Christmas film. That was a wonderful story, very believable, very prevalent, and it wasn't Americanized. This was like, they just have funny stuff, and it was just wonderful. Like, I had no qualms with it. I wanted just Chike's story to be a little bit better, more fleshed out. That was the only issue. I wanted him to have a little bit more in his. I love the idea that he was the brother dating, because all of them had problems.
Mm-hmm.
Ugo was a player, so he couldn't land one chick. Obi had a woman that didn't really love him like that.
Yeah.
And then Chike was with a woman that was married, so they all had problems.
Yeah. I feel like they should have gone all the way or not at all.
Yeah.
So either don't give him the storyline with the married woman, or give us something like full
up. Yeah. Yeah, but I'm not gonna lie, I still like what they did. Mm-hmm. I just would have liked Chike's story to be more
complete.
Because Ugo's story and Obi's story were so full.
Random woman there, then I would like to know how he met the woman.
Yeah. I was like, y'all wrap this up a little bit better, but just for him. But I felt like it was nice. I liked that Ajike forgave Ugo in the end. I liked how. Like, even you saw at the end, it was like even the mom was trying to plead for him, and that's like a big thing.
Yeah. Oh, actually, maybe that is a question. So, like, he was on his knees. He wasn't proposing, but he was, like, asking for forgiveness.
Oh, yeah.
And then she, like, it looked like she was about to get down, and he, like, picked her up. Is that similar to, like, the Indian tradition with the kind of feet
kind of. It was almost like, you please come up, that I forgive you. Because if you saw the mom, she was about to beg for him, and then one thing is, you don't want the elderly person to come down. That really means, like, that one is, like, so big. If the elderly person has to come down and beg because you, the child, have done something wrong, they'll be like, even look, the grandma or the mom or the dad is begging. They're like, it was supposed to show, please forgive, or please. And they were like, oh, no. We don't want grandma on the ground. We don't want mom on the ground. So when she did down, it was to show him that, oh, I forgive you. You come up. And we're on the same page now. I forgive you. So that's the kind of thing I liked. It was really nice.
It reminded me.
I like her hair. I want to do her hair too.
Like the Indian movies where they will do like and they will stop them.
Yeah, it was just to be like, oh, no respect needed.
Yeah,
it's like, or they recognize for them. It's like they recognize the respect.
Yeah,
and then
he didn't let her go all the way. He was like, no, come up with me.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it was. So you see the cultural difference. But he needed to beg because he did wrong.
Yeah,
he did wrong.
He did.
But it's a wonderful watch, y'all. It's a new, unique Christmas movie for a different culture. And I was just like, get with it, yo. Y'all can watch Squid Game. Y'all can watch this, right?
Yeah. Get some culture, y'all. Some culture.
Yeah, and then to get us out, we're going to jam again one more time. Right, Whitney?
Sure.
We're going to jam out.
Not?
Why not, right? All right, we're going to jam one more time. Hey, Christmas time. Hey, yo, that means get down and dance. That part. So we get down, Whitney. We getting down we're getting down. All right, y'all. A Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas,
Keresimesi. And we see you guys in the new year.
See you in 2022. Bye everybody.
Thanks for listening to our podcast. Please subscribe to our show on whatever podcast listening app you use and share the show with other Blerds and non-Blerd family and friends. And if you like our episode, please rate and review us on iTunes.
The intro and outro music is Twilight by Caption. You can find them on SoundCloud, the username Caption, spelled CAPSHUN. The show notes are by Bola, Hanson, and the audio engineering is by Whitney Booker.
And you can contact us by email at blerdtalkbw@gmail.com. And also, don't forget to get social, you guys. You can find us on our social media at Instagram and Twitter, with our @handle being @blerdtalkbw. And we've got our individual things going on too, y'all. So you can find me, your Blerd Fashionista, on Instagram and Twitter at BolaStoryB. That's B with 2 E's like the insect. And I've got my own personal YouTube channel, just Bola Sade. That's BOLASHADE. D as in dog, E as in elephant.
And this is Whitney. You can find me at my company, Luminavi Studios. The email address is wit@luminavi.com. That's WHIT@LUMENAVI.com. You can also find me on Twitter at Luminavi Studios.